All right. Hope everybody's all is well. I wanted to go over a deal that someone would propose to me. I was talking to a business broker today, and she has a few projects, and we're trying to figure out how we can work together for some of the deals that she's working on to help her close more deals since she buys and sells businesses. And one of the things she was talking about, so she sent me an email today. Great chatting with you today. Put it in a quick call to a friend of mine, and it looks like they're still working on funding a project. It's a high level. It's a $3 million building purchase with a $1 million build out. And I'm supposed to connect with the CFO soon. I'll keep you posted. So $3 million building purchase and $1 million build out. So in my head, there's a lot of questions that are going on in my head. So obviously that's a total of $4 million. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. So when you think of a build out, so a lot of times when you think of a build out, it's usually someone that is going to be operating their business out of that, and they need to put in equipment, or a lot of times if it's like, let's say it's like a restaurant, a build out, maybe they need, new equipment, hoods, and all that kind of stuff in order to build it out in order to operate in that space. Or sometimes, let's say if it's an office and they're doing a build out, maybe they're putting in furniture, and maybe they're trying to reconfigure some of the walls and that kind of stuff for that purchase. So there are two things I'm thinking. So sometimes a build out doesn't necessarily improve the building for the sense that if it's $3 million for the purchase and then $1 million to build out, is $1 million going to make the property worth $4 million? And that's not always the case, right? So let's just say if you're in a neighborhood and you're renovating your house, like for example, and you're gonna fix it up, and houses in the neighborhood typically go for, let's just say, $350,000, let's say, right? And your house is 350,000, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna put a lot of fancy bells and whistles, and you're gonna spend another $350,000 to build out your property and make it look nicer. All right. So 350 plus 350 is 700,000. So does that necessarily make that house $700,000 value? Can you actually sell that property for $700,000? So like if somebody wanted to buy your house, they might not see the same value in all those upgrades that you see. So not always dollar for dollar. So my first question is this build out, is it actually renovating the property, meaning that by renovating the property, anyone would benefit from that renovations? And if that's the case, dollar for dollar, typically the value of that property go up. Now, why am I thinking like that? So if you're the lender, you want to fully collateralize the deal, you want to make sure the ratio is 1-to-1 for any of those renovations or build out, or maybe equipment and so those kind of things. So usually real estate, um, you typically, let's just say, you from a collateralization standpoint, you'll typically get up to 80% and or 90% on what's called a 504 SBA loan. But and then other things that is build out, like for example, you're building out like a restaurant. Typically, that equipment that you're putting in there is not going to be worth as much. So I was talking to a company that buys restaurant equipment. And so let's just say a business unfortunately goes out of business, and he goes in and buys the equipment. Typically, he's buying that equipment for a lot less than the value of what the person paid for. So, and I'm typically saying, so let's just say for every 1,000, maybe he's only paying $200 or $100 to that equipment. So build out. So from a lender standpoint, we want to know exactly what the value of what is actually being built out, and you're improving the property for the purposes of the business moving in, or to actually renovate and make the property better. So I was having that conversation today, and I thought that would be a great topic to share today for the benefits of everyone else. All right, thank you, and have a great day.